In this video, I'm going to share with you the ultimate white balance settings for this Samsung QDOLEDs for you to play the games looking absolutely ferocious with all the QD-OLED colorfulness and brightness power. While at the same time, if you want to enjoy some bikini ladies and regular content, you don't have some lobster looking faces and everything looks natural. Is that even possible? Okay, a lot of people think accuracy means it looks bad and yellow and piss all over the screen, and so I don't like that. And actually, I cannot achieve accuracy because I don't have instruments, but with my eyes, with some mobile apps, with a lot of testing side by side, with some out of the box accurate settings, comparing it with what I was doing, and all the displays that I have, including the screen of my phones, the Samsung S23 Ultra and the iPhone 15 Plus, I spend the entire day working on these settings to make these TVs look the way I want, which is magical. Everything looks perfect, okay? And what I was looking for was natural looking human beings, okay? You see, I don't care about the creator's intent because I always change the creator's intent. I mostly play games, I use reshade, I change all the colors, everything, the color grading, absolutely everything on the games. So the creator's intent is not important to me, but in my opinion, you should want to have your TV as well calibrated as possible, and then the content, if the content is impressive, it's going to look impressive. It's that simple. So if it doesn't look good, you just change the content. That's what I believe, and it works. That's how I enjoy these displays. So now let me show you some side-by-side comparisons. I'm going to show you the settings, and then I'm going to revert back the settings in one of the TVs so you can see the difference between what we're doing and the stock calibration. Now, before we do that, there is a difference between this Samsung S90C first generation QD-OLED and this Samsung S95C. And actually, this is the second Samsung S95C that I test, and they are both exactly the same. So the only thing I don't know is if the difference in the white balance is because this is first generation or if it was intentional from Samsung to have them looking different. Because the difference is basically warm to, on this Samsung S90C looks warmer than warm to on this Samsung S95C. And if you measure, let's say a full screen white, that's 10,000 nits, so max out, it might read the same color temperature. But I believe there is a difference in the lower end of the grayscale. And because of that, real content looks warmer on this S90C. So I am leaning towards first generation looks more red, near black, and that's what's causing that difference. But I'm not sure. The thing is, there's a difference. And for me to match them better, this S90C has to be in warm 1 and the S95C has to be in warm 2. Now with those settings, the S90C looks a little bit cooler, but it looks better than with warm 2. And we are changing the white balance anyway. Okay? So we're changing with a 2-point calibration because the 20-point calibration doesn't work on the PC, unfortunately. I think Samsung should definitely fix that. So yeah, let's take a look at just the game here for a moment, and then I'll show you some examples and show you the settings. Let me tell you, this is absolutely amazing because this game HDR is just wild. It was not, there's no color grading, nothing. This was just turn on HDR on the engine, on Real Engine, and just let it run wild. So I am doing tone mapping with reshade, and actually I lower, with a different tone mapping method, I lower the brightness so you can see these two side by side. Otherwise it will be too bright. I'll show you that too. So this game, especially this scene right here, looks so awful at the beginning. I'm like, man, this just looks so messed up. I have to even lower the BT 2020 of the game because it's just too much. But with these settings, it actually looks, it has never looked better, basically, and more natural. And really with the colors on these QDOLEDs, you don't have to do a lot for them to look amazing. They always do. But yeah, we're also trying to push the colors as much as we can with these settings. And let me tell you, everything looks amazing. Games and regular content, and I will show you some side-by-side comparisons. So I'm gonna turn off the lights, show you some side-by-side comparisons. I'll show you the settings first, and then I will have them different so you can see what we did there. Because the brightness in both TVs is completely maxed out. I have the 1500 nits mod on the S90C and the 2000 nits mod on the S95C. Now, this is not necessary for the settings I'm going to share with you, but after you try these settings, you would have to adjust the EOTF tracking if you did the mod on the service menu because it was clipping less with these changes we were doing. So let me show you the settings, the white balance settings. This is the S90C. Sharpness is at 10 because I am on PC mode. That's why. So color 18 because we are using custom BT 2020. So we have to reduce that color saturation. Custom BT 2020. And I am using warm 1 because if I use warm 2, like I said, it's a lot warmer than the S95C. Let me show you. See? It becomes warmer. It's not bad at all. I prefer warm 1 on this S90C. And that would be my recommendation. So then, pick brightness high, static tone mapping. And these are the white balance settings. We come here, 2 points, and these are the settings. Red gain, -8, green +6, blue gain 2, and the offset, the green in 1, okay? Again, I use my eyes, I use some phone apps, and I spend the entire day just going back and forth to try to accomplish what I was looking for, which was basically very nice, realistic skin tones, but I didn't want to lose all that color pop for the games. Okay, so these are the settings. I'll show you that the S95C has the exact same settings. The only difference is that I am using warm 2, and I'm gonna show you the difference in the white balance. You will see if I change this to warm 1, it will be too cool, way too cool. So as you can see here, same settings. The only difference is that I am using, you see, custom BT 2020. The only difference is this warm 2. So if I change it to warm 1, this is significantly cooler than the S90C. Significantly cooler. So warm 2 looks closer to warm 1 on the S90C. Still, the S90C is going to be a little bit cooler, but you are going to like that. Most likely, you will like that difference. Now, I'm going to show you some examples. So you see that they look similar. with these settings. As you can see here, they look very similar. The only difference is that factory white balance calibration. So I am going from there. That's the only difference. But if you have a different TV, you're going to basically accomplish something similar to what I did here, regardless of the variance from panel to panel, or even if you have an S90D or something like, or S95D, which I'm gonna test. The S90D is coming tomorrow, okay? So I'll tell you all about it. Yeah, and I'm gonna see if there's a difference too on the white balance. So now that we see that they are similar, let me show you some other examples. They are similar, very similar. I'm going to revert the settings on the S95C so you can see what's the difference with this white balance and the factory calibration. So I'm gonna come here to the white balance and I'm going to reset. And I click reset here, and that's factory. As you can see, 0 everything, and I'll keep it at warm too with the same settings. The rest of the settings are going to be exactly the same. So take a look at the difference. As you can see here, of course, keep in mind my camera cannot capture exactly what I see in front of me. The white balance on the camera is not going to be the same, so rely on my description. I can tell you this looks a little bit more, magenta, reddish, not warmer in a good way. Definitely the S90C to the left looks more natural to me, okay? So let's go through some of these examples. Let me show you this one again. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it is so noticeable to me that the S90C looks more natural, okay? It looks more, it's just nicer, okay? And I will show you gaming with the same settings. I will show you a very colorful game that looks absolutely insane. So it's not like you are going to lose colorfulness for the games at all. Let's check out this picture again. Again, it looks more natural on the S90C to me. Now let's take a look at this snow. You can see that white balance difference. Now, which one looks more like snow to me? Again, the S90C. Right now here in front of me, it looks more realistic to me. It looks better. Is it accurate? Absolutely not. That's impossible. I do not have instruments for that. And if I get a cheap colorimeter, it will never be expensive enough. Okay, for those purists out there, it doesn't matter which colorimeter you buy, it's not enough and it's still inaccurate. So I don't care about trying to please that, because I don't really care at all. I can make the TV look the way I like it and the way I enjoy it, and I am sharing that with you. This looks absolutely amazing to me. Okay, this is the game I'm gonna show you later actually running. This is Dragon's Dogma, so you can see some gaming too here. This game HDR, by the way, let me change the settings. This game HDR is, I don't think it's good at all, but I have to keep playing it. Maybe it was just the beginning. But yeah, we have this lady here, and even on the game, the skin tone looks more natural, better to me. It looks less magenta, less reddish. It looks more, it looks better, okay? That's my opinion here in front of me. On camera, you can see some of the difference, but of course, it's not gonna be the same. Now, this is a very bright example that's clipping on camera a lot, and I have to crush all the shadow detail to show you that. This is absolutely amazing, and actually, I'm surprised here. The S90C has more pop. It's looking brighter, and it shouldn't be looking brighter like that. The reason why it's brighter is because sometimes You see, if I lowered the gain even more, you might be able to see that difference. That the S90C at the left looks brighter when it's 1500 nits versus 2000 nits with a mod. Of course, I'm talking about very small windows. We're not getting that brightness in such a large area. But the thing is, these TVs they are a little bit buggy. For them to be clipping where they are supposed to be clipping, you have to, open a video, restart the display drivers, restart the PC, it's kind of a mess. So don't compare the brightness too much, because the S95C should be brighter and it is not. So that tells me that it is not clipping at the right point. So I think that's something that a lot of people who compare these TVs don't notice. And sometimes they assume that one TV is brighter than the other without considering those kind of issues. But I'm aware that can be going on. So I'm letting you know. So this looks absolutely amazing, but the skin, even with the anime, the skin tone here looks more natural to me. I think it looks better. Even for anime, it looks better. So this is what I like. Now with this example, these human faces here, they make it more noticeable. See? Let me get the settings right. You see, this is where I see the biggest difference. This kind of examples with human faces. Let's check out this one. Yeah, definitely. This looks more, again, magenta, reddish. To the left, the S90C looks more natural to me. Let me get the mouse in the hand so I can change this faster. Okay, this is the biggest difference. This one is the biggest difference. You see, this is almost impossible to get it looking right with the default, settings, because it's just so red. But yeah, it's just so much better with these settings. It looks more natural, more realistic to me. This never looked right. It was looking too reddish, too magenta. Very, very definitely super different from the LG C1, which is all the opposite. The LG C1 WRGB looks, with the calibration at least of my LG C1, it looks super green in comparison. Super green. But yeah, they both look great. I mean, you don't have to do anything with these TVs really. They look great out of the box. But I would recommend you to give these settings a try, see if you like them. And of course, if you are using different settings, share. And I'll give them a try too. Check out this. Yeah, this game looks very, very, very colorful. I'm gonna show you this game live, actually moving, so you see how good it looks. But yeah, they both look great, but I actually like more the way it's looking with my settings. Let's check out. Yeah, so we cover all of them. Let's finish with this one. This is a good one. Here, this example looks more similar to the way my phone looks. Let me get this. You see, this example here was always looking weird in comparison with a screen of my Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. With my settings, the S90C looks more similar to the screen of my phone. And the screen of my phone is not calibrated, but it looks amazing. So that's a good thing for sure. Now let me open a game and show you. Now you have a picture on the S95C and the game running here on the S90C. I cannot have the the game on HDR running on both TVs at the same time, because I don't have an HDMI splitter, and for some reason Windows doesn't allow you to duplicate the displays on HDR. You can only do it on SDR. So now for gaming, I have to say these TVs look amazing no matter what. It doesn't matter which settings you use. The thing is, if you start tweaking the settings so the games have more pop and they are more colorful and more impactful, then you are going to mess up the real content. And that's why these settings are so awesome. The games still look amazing, but real content and skin tones look good. They actually look better than factory, in my opinion. So yeah, that's why I think this is amazing. These are the settings I'm gonna be using moving forward because they work for everything, and I really like them. Let's see how the S90D looks. I'm expecting that this Saturday, so I'm very excited for that. So yeah, that's the TV I'm ultimately going to keep for myself, because that one has a third generation QD OLED with up to 2000 nits panel. So that's a brighter panel. Movies and Netflix and all of that for the family, it doesn't go over 1000 nits for the most part. I will actually do, let me show you the shadow detail here. I have to increase the gain. I'm going to actually do an analysis for all the Netflix content to see what's going on with the HDR there, because I'm going to be tweaking this S90C specifically for movies on Netflix, because that's most of what we are going to watch with the family. So I will share that too. Okay. So yeah, this looks, man, just absolutely incredible. And yeah, I mean, I would be very happy with this S90C. Actually, I was going to keep this one for myself and then have the S95C go upstairs for the family. But unfortunately, this S95C has a dead pixel and a stock pixel that might die. So yeah, I decided I'm not going to replace it again, because I mean, that's the definition of insanity, just doing the same thing again and again, expecting a different result. So I decided to try something new. Instead of replacing the S95C, I got an amazing deal for the S90D, 65 inches too. I got it for $1,200. That's $200 off Black Friday price, which is absolutely incredible. So yeah, I decided to jump and get the S90D, and I think I'm gonna be happier because after enjoying the immersion of 65 inches, it is very it's difficult to go back in size, man. Size is king. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Let me know your thoughts and opinions if you have any questions. Of course, honestly, I like more, instead of just sharing the settings, I like more to show you how I figured this out. But it would be difficult. I've been the whole day doing this. And the thing is, I do not want to promote the apps that I use for this, because they are not free. And I actually don't like their business practice. These mobile apps that they're kind of free for a month and then they want to charge you money. And yeah, I share how to fix that issue in some of these apps, but it seems like they watch my video and then they patch the app instead of reaching out and offering, I don't know, a deal for the community or something like that, or sponsor the channel or something. No, they patch it, so you cannot use it. So I'm not going to promote them. Okay, it doesn't matter anyway. The apps are not accurate. This is not a phone. It's not a spectrophotometer or a colorimeter. None of that. So yeah, it doesn't really matter that much. Let me get this change. So yeah, give this a try. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. I am blown away with this, man. I'm like, wow. I can actually make the games look amazing and the skin tones look more natural at the same time. Wow. Yeah, this is incredible to me. So yeah, give them a try. Let me know your thoughts and opinions and if you have any questions.